Jeff, in James Madison's first year in the Sun Belt Conference, the Dukes finish second in the Bubas Cup out of 14 programs, only behind South Alabama. And every single team program here at JMU finished at 500 or above. To me, it seemed like everything went to plan and then some. You on board with that?
Oh, most definitely. Phenomenal first year. I think it's a good testament to how prepared we were. And credit goes to the coaches and the student athletes and to our administration to help make things happen facility-wise for us that allow us to compete in this league at a really high level.
Let's talk about the football program to begin. When we chatted last year, you said, my goal for this program is to be competitive, not to get blown out consistently. I don't know if you've ever could have imagined 8-3, East champions in the Sun Belt Conference. Overall, how do you evaluate year one in FBS football for James Madison?
Absolutely phenomenal start. Just you couldn't have imagined it. We were talking last year, and I thought, if we had won 5 games, I would have been a happy guy. 6, I would have been jumping around the room. And to think the way that we played and the way we finished, I think, is truly remarkable. And it really does paint a great picture for our future. And it just goes to show we deserve to be here.
Second year now in FBS football. You're not going to make anyone fall asleep on you because everyone's paying attention now. Picked first in the East Division in the Sun Belt Conference. So now what are your expectations in year number 2 of the FBS?
Well, first and foremost, I want to stay healthy. I think we've got a really good football team. We're deep, but at the same time, you're only as good as what happens to you on the injury list. So I hope we stay healthy. I want to see us play every game to the bitter end. I know we will, and let's see what happens. It's just to me, last year was again a testament to how good we are. This is a tough league. That spot on our back, that target got a lot larger last year, and everybody this year will be gunning for us in an attempt to say that was a fluke. That wasn't supposed to happen, and we all know better. But at the same time, they're going to come after us.
It's been well documented that this program applied for a waiver to be fully bowl eligible in its second year in the FBS. That waiver was not passed. How does that change things for this season and beyond for the football program?
Really, it doesn't. I mean, the bottom line is we knew going into it was a stretch, but we had to do everything we feasibly could to try to get that waiver. And as hard as we worked and as optimistic as I was, it was for naught. But I think what our program does, it's about winning games. It's about trying to put yourself in a position to do something postseason. And the thing I always keep in the back of my mind now is that if they have to go to a 5-win team for a bowl game and we win 6 games, we're in that game. So we still got our chance. And I think that's one of the things that can be a motivational factor for the young men this year.
And despite that waiver not going through, it seems like the excitement of JMU Nation is still there with record season ticket sales. You're expecting several sellouts at Bridgeford Stadium. That's got to be awesome to see.
Well, it does. It takes revenue to drive programs today, and you have to have great fans and great fan support. So for us, it's a sign that the Dukes are doing the right thing, that we're on the right path, and hats off to those donors and fans. I'm excited here in a few days to get in the stadium and hear the roar. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it'll be a really good year.
I'm obligated to ask this next question because there's a lot of people on social media who want to know this. When's the other side of Bridgeford Stadium going to be built?
We've always said the same thing. When we fully sell out of the sides that we have now and fill it up, and there's a waiting list, we'll consider doing that. You have to look at it from our perspective. It doesn't make sense to spend that amount of money, which it's a significant expenditure to go do the other side. You want to be in a position to make sure that if the seats are there, so are your fans.
Let's shift gears from this football program. Let's talk about this facility that we sit in right now. It is gorgeous, the newly renovated Convocation Center, which took just over a year to complete. It's now the home of 8 sport programs here with JMU. In your estimation, how does this facility compare to other similar facilities across the nation?
Well, I think it's right there at the top of the Power Five, a lot of the Power Five schools in terms of the facility itself. Kudos to the university, to our construction staff, facilities maintenance, everybody that made this thing a reality, because it took a lot of work. But it turned out just incredible. I couldn't believe the first time I walked in here. It's like transformation is an understatement, but beautiful. I'm happy for our kids. They get a chance to, our student athletes get in here every day. They get a chance to practice here, work out here, compete here. I think for the student, it makes just an incredible facility, and it's going to help with recruiting. There's no doubt about that. So I could see spending a lot of time over here. They may get tired of looking at it.
It should be a lot of fun inside this facility for volleyball.
It was rolling this weekend. I mean, we had great crowds in here for volleyball. I think that's indicative of what transpires the rest of the season, and just the quality of the experience for our students. I just walked through our nutrition office on the way in here, and I'm thinking that's impressive. So.
Yeah, this is an awesome facility, no doubt about it. Earlier you talked about fundraising, and the Duke Club exceeded 5,000 unique donors this past year. That's been a number that's been wanted to be accomplished by this athletic department for a very long time. How much does that fundraising help in what you're trying to do here?
Corey, that's probably one of the real fundamental pieces of our future. We absolutely must grow our donor base, and we have to annually raise more money. This year was a milestone that was passed probably a year and a half, almost 2 years sooner than what we thought it would be. But again, our donors and our fans made that happen. 5,600, I believe, annual donors right now, and roughly, we're in that $5 million mark of setting that as an annual sort of watermark for fundraising. And to me, the larger you get like that, the more potential you have to grow. And we know it's incumbent based on our programs and how well we do, but the JMU Faithful are a great group, and they've really stepped up to support us.
Personally, I'm just curious, you've been doing this whole athletic director thing for a very long time. You having a lot of fun right now?
I love it. I love it. It's really the type of thing when you get to see your work mature and get to a point to where it's developed, and you look at every team and the opportunity that they're afforded with regard to what that scholarship means to them and where they get to compete. It is a lot of fun, and it's exciting. Golly, it's great to be around students and see them live every day in an environment where they're having fun, getting a great education, and one of these days they're going to be donors or fans like the rest of us sitting around this room.
So you know what, over the last 3 years, you've made so much progress with this university, building the Atlantic Union Bank Center, renovating this facility, moving to the Sun Belt Conference, FBS football. So I'll ask you a two-word question. What's next?
For us right now, it's continued growth. It's grow your donor base, grow your fundraising, compete for championships and win them. It's about optimizing the experience that a student has at the undergraduate level. And I think when you can do that and you can showcase it in facilities like what we have, it really does separate you apart from other institutions. And I really meant it at the beginning. I think we're sitting inside a Power 5 facility. These are the types of things that when you go to Power 5 schools, granted there are larger ones, but when you look at the vast majority, in the middle to say the lower third of Power 5, this is what you expect.
Jeff, it's been a blast to watch the acceleration of this entire athletic department. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck moving forward.
Corey, looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun.